there's a chance in there. And you know, if anyone decides that they would rather watch me paint David Bowie, then of course I can go back to that. Um, but I just kind of like not really run out of things to say, but like I couldn't talk about David Bowie for hours on end. As much as I like to think that I couldn't. I can talk about The Hitchhiker's Guide for hours on end because it's my favorite thing to talk about. The Hitchhiker's Guide is my favorite thing to talk about. But who didn't know that, right? Who on here didn't know that? Well, maybe you didn't. Maybe you're new. Maybe you've never met me before. But if you have met me before, then you know that it's like the only thing I talk about in real life. And almost all my friends, like actually all my friends, they never hear about anything else. They don't. Well, I guess sometimes they do when I decide to talk about something else that I know about. But let's be honest, there's not much else that I do talk about. The Hitchhiker's Guide is my only talking point most of the time. So that's actually really dark, so I'm going to brighten that up a little bit. I know it's his thumb, but like that looks really dark. So I did make it a little bit brighter. I know it's heresy, but I had to, you guys. I might paint this room behind him. It looks like a surgical center, maybe. I might paint that in as well. No, it is a surgical center because he's about to perform a surgery. But we don't get to see the surgery. It's kind of sad. A little bit sad. Do you guys like Monty Python skits? Like, do you like... They've done a few of them, like, that took place in a hospital. Like, they had the one with the machine that goes boop. Do you guys like that one? Do you like Monty Python? What do you think? I like Monty Python. I also like The Hitchhiker's Guide. And if you like Monty Python and The Hitchhiker's Guide, maybe we should be friends, maybe. You know? I like to think that we would be good friends if you like The Hitchhiker's Guide, because, you know, I like The Hitchhiker's Guide a lot, and I like to talk about The Hitchhiker's Guide and how much I like it, and maybe you want to hear about that, and maybe you want to talk about it too. Actually, a lot of my Instagram followers come from The Hitchhiker's Guide fandom, because they like The Hitchhiker's Guide as well, and, so around Towel Day, I started posting a lot more often on Instagram. Because I was like posting a mini Hitchhiker's Guide fan art drawing. And by many, I mean I did not put effort into it at all. Like, I just kind of was like slapped some lines on a page and I said, here, this is my interpretation of Arthur, or this is my interpretation of Ford or Zaphod. But I had like this big painting planned. Like, I don't know if I ever put it up on my YouTube or not, but I like to think that I did. Maybe not, though. I don't know. Who's to say? Actually, I should stop saying that because I'm the one who is to say, and I don't know. So yeah, so I was what was I just saying? I don't know. I guess we'll talk about something else then. Oh, no, I remember. So, yeah, I had this, like, big drawing that I did of Zaphod that I was really proud of. And I was like, oh my gosh, I can't wait to post this. But the thing is, I had finished the drawing, like, almost a month before. So, Towel Day, for those of you strags, and if you're a strag, you actually don't know what strag means. Strag means non-hitchhiker. Yeah, but for those of you who don't like or don't read The Hitchhiker's Guide, don't know everything about it. What was I saying? Oh yeah, Towel Day is May 25th. So I had finished this drawing in April. So I was reasonably upset that I had to wait so long to show off my creation, right? I had worked so hard on painting, and I was like, no, I have to wait this long. So the day after I finished the painting, I decided every day until Towel Day, I was going to post something that vaguely related to The Hitchhiker's Guide to like kind of lure people into my Instagram page to look at my painting on Towel Day. And it worked. I made some friends that day because I was, my plan to lure in Hitchhiker's Guide fans worked. I brought in a few people, some cool people too, that I talk to occasionally on Instagram. I'm so bad at keeping friendships, so if you do follow me on Instagram and you're one of the people that I'm talking about right now, I'm so sorry that I hardly ever talk to any of you. I'm so bad at keeping friendships. You have no idea. Well, you do have an idea because you are one of the people who's been affected by my horrible social skills. So you might be wondering, what is this nerd doing right now? I'm using my texture brush. I'm using my texture brush to kind of blend to kind of put some texture into the painting. Because, human skin is not smooth. Which is not a bad thing. It's just a thing about humans. Or we don't have smooth skin most of the time. So it looks weird when I get to a certain level of realism. And I still have, really smooth skin painted on, and we're starting to kind of reach that level now. And also this kind of helps me kind of fight back against the colors, because I do go too bright and too hard on my shadows sometimes. You can see my shadows were starting to take over his whole arm, even though he doesn't have that much shadow on his arm. So I do kind of use it to fight back against those shadows that I have. And also it just kind of adds texture, right? Look, you can see that. So it helps with my art, once I achieve a certain level of realism, to kind of go back in and with this textured blending brush and just kind of blend everything in a little bit. It would have also helped if I didn't do the whole painting on one layer, but it is what it is, I guess. No, it's not, but that's what's happening right now. That's what's happening right now. Also, for some reason, the title of the stream didn't change on Twitch, so it still is lying to you, saying that I'm drawing David Bowie. I am not drawing David Bowie. I'm painting Douglas Adams right now. I might go back to my painting of David Bowie later, but right now, it's all Douglas Adams. One of the coolest guys, in my opinion, And yeah, so that's what's happening right now. I am just kind of shading Douglas Adams. I will make this colored. I will color this eventually. I hope. And this time you guys will get to see my process of going from not being colored to being colored. It's not much of a process. It's just you'll see when we get there. If we get there. Yeah, but guys, I love this textured blending brush. It is so nice. I'm so glad. All I did, I just took airbrush. I just took the particle airbrush and spread the particles out a little bit to make it very easy to make. I use IBIS paint. It says I'm using Procreate. I'm using IBIS paint, by the way. Some of you out there who use Procreate might have been looking at me and thinking, that is not Procreate. Yeah, it's not. It's because, I have a friend who uses Procreate. She's pretty good at it too. You should follow her on Instagram. This is a shameless plug in her honor. Go follow her. Her name is her Instagram name is NCG Does Art. She's a cool guy. You should go follow her. Yeah, so, go follow my friend. She's a cool guy. And I say that about everyone, but let's be honest, she really is. She's cooler than I am. So, if you like cool people and you like art, yeah, go follow NCG Does Art. She's a cool person who paints really good pictures of My Hero Academia characters. She paints a lot of My Hero Academia characters, if you like My Hero Academia. But if you like more what? Oh, more like science fiction, um, more realistic, I guess, science fiction than anime science fiction. Then stay right where you are because I got you. I do Hitchhiker's Guide content, as you can see. I also paint David Bowie, he technically counts as a science fiction guy, right? Because like Ziggy Stardust was his Ziggy Stardust was a character of his, and Ziggy Stardust was you know, science fiction esque kind of, right? The spiders from Mars and whatnot. I don't know. Maybe you don't count David Bowie's work as science fiction. Maybe you don't. That's cool too. Because I don't only draw Douglas Adams and David Bowie, believe it or not. The past 2 streams I've done have been Douglas Adams and David Bowie, but they're not the only people that I know how to draw. I'm working on my own text adventure. It's called Attack of Andromeda. It's a text game that I'm currently programming. The programming is not going very well. I was gonna say I'm struggling and having a hard time, and I almost said I'm having a struggle. Let's be honest though, I am having a struggle. But I'm struggling with the programming right now. So if anyone knows anything about programming text adventures in Python, talk to me. Because I need help. So, you know, I am a science fiction guy as well. I consider myself a science fiction guy. You might have a different definition of science fiction guy than I do, but I consider myself to be one. His eye over here is driving me insane, but I don't know what I can do about it. So I'm just gonna add some light into this one, I guess. And hope that kind of fixes both of the eyes. Oh, that's brighter than the eye color that I had. The only problem with drawing Douglas Adams as often as I do is that a lot of the pictures of him are from like the 60s and the 70s, so they're kind of like it's kind of hard to tell what's like finding the details in the picture. You know what I mean? So I'm like extrapolating as much as I can from these pictures, like, because a lot of them haven't been upscaled and I don't know how to upscale pictures. So I'm just kind of working with what little information I have. Like, see how many pixels this is? That's like 5. And I'm doing way more than 5 pixels. So I am struggling with that. If you didn't notice, welcome. Struggling is about 50% of what I do here. Yeah, so, you know, maybe you're having a good time watching me paint. If you are, that is really cool, and I appreciate that. And I'm glad that you're here. Welcome. And if you don't like watching me paint and for some reason you like my voice, that's cool too. Welcome. And I hate my voice, which, you know, I'm pretty sure like everyone says that, don't they? We all say that, but it's true. Like, my voice is just something else. And my brother the other day, he was listening to one of my live streams. He told me I sounded bored, and I said, well, I'm trying not to talk too loud. If I sound too boring, too bored, let me know and I will talk better. I'll talk better. Oh yeah. I'm so tired. That's not an excuse, but I'm tired, man. I'm really tired. And I don't know why. Because I slept last night. And the night before. which is more than I can say for, like, it's more than a lot of my friends can say. Like, they don't sleep and they're never tired. Well, maybe they just don't complain about it as often as I do. But, it's cool. Like, my friends are cool guys. They don't need to sleep. That's how cool they are. Yeah, so do you want to talk to me about your friends? You got some cool friends that you want to brag about? Because I'm here for it. If you want to brag about your friends, I'm here for that. Brag away. Sorry, I went weirdly quiet there. I was checking the chats to see if anyone was bragging about their friends. No one is. That's okay. If you don't have any friends that you want to brag about, that's cool too. You can brag about me. No, but I'm not. I like to think that I'm not half as self-absorbed as I pretend to be on these streams. I think I said that yesterday. So does that mean that it's true? Or does that mean that I'm lying to kind of cover up how self-absorbed I really am? Ooh. I don't know. I don't know. I wish I could play music, but I think I'm gonna get copy struck again. Like, copyright's gonna come stab me in the throat if I try to play any music. What do you guys think so far? Like, what do you think about this? What do you think about this, huh? I don't know. It says I've got one viewer, but that might just be a lie. I don't know. If anyone's talking, if you want to say something, say something. Be cool. I'm cool with it. I'm cool with anything. Say whatever you want to. This is a free space for you to say your words that come into your mind and your heart. If that makes sense. I don't know. Maybe it doesn't. Maybe it doesn't. Or maybe it did. I don't know. Guys, I'm so tired. I might have to end the stream for a few minutes so I can go make some coffee. Because I need caffeine. Let's be honest. Oh, I think I might know why I'm so tired right now. So, I just finished a psychology class. Ooh, yeah, I'm gonna brag. I hated it. It was so boring. Anyway, I just finished a psychology class, and in that class we learned that around, I think, from 3 to 5, your energy levels just kind of drop. So I forgot what they're called, but one of them is melatonin, not melanin. That is a chemical in people's skin. Yeah, so melatonin is constantly hitting you throughout the day, but you don't feel tired because of it, because there's another one that I forgot what it's called that is balancing out the melatonin. And so at from 3 to 5, the melatonin levels rise and the levels of the chemical that's balancing it out drop, so they kind of even out, and you feel really tired in the middle of the day. And that's why a lot of people take naps at this time of day, because that's when your chemicals drop. So yeah, there you go. My dad actually said he was going to take a nap, but he didn't because he has to work right now. And he is working. You might hear him talking downstairs. You might not. I don't know. But what do you guys think? You like Douglas Adams? Let's talk more about him. So this guy, this really cool guy here, he wrote a short story that I appreciate a lot called The Private Life of Genghis Khan. That is a cool short story, you guys. It was pretty neat, pretty rad. Yeah. Go check out, if you don't know if you want to read The Hitchhiker's Guide or not. One big argument, or one way that you can kind of do a trial run of The Hitchhiker's Guide. Just the first book is not that long. It's not very long. It's like I don't know, probably like 150 pages. Well, of course it depends on your copy, but so I have right here an average size paperback copy of The Hitchhiker's Guide. It's the one I was talking about last night, the one with the 42 puzzle on it. It has 215 pages. Oh, yes. Yeah, let's talk about the contradictions between the versions of The Hitchhiker's Guide. Let's talk about those. Yeah, so The Hitchhiker's Guide, if you didn't know, was a novel series, which is the one that I was first introduced to. It's also a film that took way too long to get made. And I say that because Douglas Adams was trying to get it made in his life. Like, he died in California because they were finally like starting to make the film, and then he died and they had to stop. And I don't remember what year it came out. Let's see. Oh, maybe my teacher emailed me back. He did not. Well, okay. Okay, so in 2005, so I was 1 year old. It's meant to be, you guys. The film released in 2005. So Douglas Adams died in 2001. Really depressing. Like, I don't know. This might sound, I don't know. Like, I really wish I could have met him. My dad said that I can't remember. I think my dad like also wanted to meet him but never had a chance to. Um but you know, it's cool. It's cool. I had a chance. I had like I don't know. I wish my life could have like intersected, like our life on a graph. If you graphed our lives, I wish they could have intersected at one point on the y-axis, like, which is usually time, but alas, I was not so lucky. Yeah, so what was I talking about? Oh, yeah. So the film came out, but The Hitchhiker's Guide started off as a radio series called The Ends of the Earth, in which he was going to write about multiple ways that the Earth could end. And he did write about multiple ways that the Earth could end. Except he ended up only going with one way, which was to get destroyed to make way for a hyperspace bypass, because he like, it's a lot of explaining. I've got time for it, actually. Let's go. So, he had forgotten about the idea for The Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy for 8 years, and he was writing this radio show called The Ends of the Earth, which was going to tell every episode the Earth was going to end in a different way. And so for the first episode, he was going to have two guys chilling on the Earth, and it's going to get destroyed to make way for a hyperspace bypass. And he realized that one of the characters had to have, like, he had to have a character who cared about the Earth, and he had to have a character with the ability to kind of explain what's happening, right? Otherwise, you wouldn't get the joke that it's being destroyed for a hyperspace bypass, because none of humanity got the joke. Like, they were all freaking out. So you have to have a guy who knows what's going on. So he created the character Ford Prefect as a researcher for The Hitchhiker's Guide, for the character who kind of knew what was going on and could introduce us to the world that the story was taking place in. And then he created Arthur Dent, a guy who was going to care about the earth because he was from the earth, and a guy who was like us. Arthur Dent is supposed to represent our perspective in the novel series, right? So Arthur Dent is like our lens on it. Although, let's be honest, I relate really closely with Zaphod, even though I acted nothing like him. There's no way I would have the confidence to walk up to someone at a Halloween party and start flirting with them when they're in the middle of being flirted to by someone else, right? There's no way I'd have that kind of confidence, but Zaphod sure does. But anyway, so he was writing The Ends of the Earth, which was, a radio series. It was going to be a really good one. I would have loved for him to have like gone back in and kind of finished writing, or did. I would love to know how that would have gone if he had done that instead. But of course, we got The Hitchhiker's Guide, which is arguably better. And I say arguably because we don't know what The Ends of the Earth was going to be like. Yeah, so we got The Hitchhiker's Guide, which I love The Hitchhiker's Guide. I love it so much. It's the coolest thing. And so it was, written as a radio series, and then he got the book deal off the radio series. And there's also a television series. There was supposed to be another one coming out this year, produced by Hulu. But alas, we're living in a global pandemic right now, which is, I don't know, something else. It's a special experience right now, living in a global pandemic. I mean, it's not like, I never thought it was weird. Like, I just kind of went on with my life as normal until I was in the grocery store. I was shopping, and I had my mask on, and everyone else had their masks on, and like there were the clear plastic thingies up, so in case you sneezed on a cashier, they wouldn't get the virus. They had those up, and I was just kind of chilling, enjoying the pandemic, when I just kind of looked around and I realized how weird life is right now. I was I am doing school online right now because there's a virus going around the world that's killing thousands of people every day. And here I am wearing a mask, shopping amongst other people who are all wearing masks. And there's this, we're trying not to kill people. And this is just, it's the weirdest thing. It just kind of hit me all at once how weird the situation we're in right now actually is. The realization of that just hit me at the grocery store the other day. So I had a revelation, and it was not a good one. Was it a revelation or a realization? I don't know. We're going to say realization because that sounds more correct than revelation. Revelation. I wasn't even saying it right. It's revelation, not relevation. The light's coming in that way, so that would hit there. Sorry, I'm trying to work out the dynamics of the shadows here. Yeah. So that hit me yesterday, or not yesterday. That was 2 or 3 days ago. But anyway, it was a pretty cool moment to kind of all of a sudden realize what exactly the world has come to. And it's great. A whole generation of people will have something to use on their the future kids. They'll say, oh well, I went through a global pandemic and I still did my schoolwork. I can't say the same. I have schoolwork that I should be doing right now, actually. As a matter of fact, I have schoolwork that I should be doing right now. And you know what I'm doing? I am sitting here on Twitch, YouTube, streaming, and I'm talking to absolutely no one. Because, I decided that was a much like, I just thought this is a far better way to spend my time than doing my schoolwork, is just sitting here painting Douglas Adams. Cool guy. He's worth it. He's worth the potentially low grade I will get in all of my classes. If you're painting someone and they're not worth failing your classes for, who are you painting? Why are you painting them? Unless you're doing commissions. If you're doing commissions, then good for you, man. I respect you. I don't do commissions. Well, I would probably do commissions, like, if I could, if people wanted my art badly enough to say, hey, will you draw this for me and I'll pay you money? I would definitely do that, man. Like, that'd be really cool. But unfortunately, or fortunately, I guess, no one wants my art, which is cool. You know, I'm not going to be like really snarky and say, their loss. It's not their loss. Let's be honest. It's nobody's loss. My win. Because I probably wouldn't get it done anyway. I have such a hard time. Like, my friend asked me to paint, like, let me show you. Oh, he's sideways. He's sideways. Okay, so if we ignore all of these David Bowie paintings that I've done, where is it? Oh, wait, guys. I was doing Chargeman Ken fan art. Oh, yeah, Chargeman Ken. This is really, like, you guys are seeing some really intimate art right now. Like, you are looking into my soul. Ah, yes. Yeah, you're just kind of staring into my soul right now, watching me scroll through here, looking at all my art. What was I showing you? There's no way it was this long ago that my friend asked me to do that for. Oh, well, here's the notorious Zapad painting I was telling you about. Yeah, look at that. I used the airbrush, and I thought I was cool. Don't use the airbrush, guys. Gives you really weird looking shadows. Learned that too late. I learned that about not using the airbrush. Let's see. I was shading with the airbrush. Did I shade this with the airbrush? No, I did not. Well, I did a little bit. Or maybe I just was blending with the pen. Oh, yeah, Lucy Gray Baird. I don't know if any of you have read The Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes. It's a good book. It's a good book. I shaded this with the airbrush. But it doesn't look like I did a lot of it with the airbrush. I don't know. Yeah, don't shade with the airbrush. It gives you weird shadows. I do use the airbrush sometimes now, but I know to kind of be gentle with it, use it sparingly. Like, I use the airbrush for, like, filling in big blocks of shadow. Like, I think I might have used it in here. I did, but I used it on this version right here. I used the airbrush. You can't see my hand right now, but I'm motioning along his cheek line where the light changes into shadow. I used it there, cheekbone, not cheek line, to kind of get softer shadows on his cheeks. Yeah, so there you go. The airbrush is not all bad. But you do want to avoid using the airbrush too much, because it will make your art look too digital. So, like, let me show you something. So I don't think I actually, like, used the airbrush a lot, like, as a crux when I started on here. Like, look at this. Look at this. So this is what I did here is arguably worse than using the airbrush for everything, because what I did here, yeah, see that? That looks terrible. I used, so these, like, they looked fine, but what I did, so let me just turn this off for a minute. Give her normal looking-ish hair. So what I did was I went in, I would take this color. I don't know. Actually, I'll do the shadows of her hair. So I would take a darker color and I would like kind of block in the shadows of her hair, which were going like that for some reason. I'd block the shadows in, but then I wouldn't know what to do next. So like I would kind of fill in like this, you know, gradually getting lighter until the highlight, which would be like right there. But I didn't know what to do next. Like I was like, okay, well I know where everything is, but I don't know what to do. So I take my blur tool and I would just go in with the blur tool and I would just do this. And that's why it's such a mess. So yeah, don't do that, guys. Don't use the blur tool as a crux. Don't know which one it is. CRU something. Yeah, I use the airbrush on here as well, but not as much. My friend, okay, so I don't know when I started painting this, but it was my 19th drawing on here, and I've got 344, and as you can see, I did not finish this, but my friend wanted me to draw a picture of her with 2 lightsabers, and she wanted Finn in the picture. I did not do that. I should have, but I didn't. Like, I didn't finish. I dropped my microphone. Here was my first attempt at semi-realism. I did a semi-realistic portrait of some random chick I found on Pinterest that I thought was pretty, and I painted her. And, yeah, she looks weird. Like, I don't know. And then I tried painting my Minecraft character guy. This was a profile picture. Like, I did 3 of them. I don't know why, but there are 3 of them. Here's a painting I did of Dirk Gently, which I repainted this twice now, I believe. Yeah, this was the first attempt at repainting, and the second attempt came up here. There's Dirk Gently as a little kid. I read the Dirk Gently comics a lot. I need to get back to my actual painting that you guys are here to see. Yeah, I need to get back to this. So let's see what we're doing now. What are we doing right now? What are we doing right now? I don't know. My throat hurts from all this talking that I'm doing to no one. Yeah, so it's pretty cool. It's pretty cool. I might stop the stream for a few minutes and come back like later because my throat does hurt a lot right now. So